Welcome everyone back to the Expansion Team series. We had a great draft, check that out. Really tough decisions, focus on our defense, and now we start into the new season with the rest of free agency. One mistake I already noticed I forgot to change the schedule, so we play on exactly the same schedule as last year, where we went undefeated. So this is the perfect test to check out if our team actually got better. Yeah, forgot to change that. Need to do that for next season, of course. But since the last episode of the expansion team was 3 months ago, I could not remember everything I did back then. But now focus on free agency, on maybe getting someone in, maybe a good playmaker, depth, high upside pick, or whatever. I already made some offers. We still have 22 million left to spend. So a lot of wiggle room to get new players in. And let me present you some options. Scott Lilly, undrafted free agent quarterback. 70 overall, awesome intelligence. I actually had him on my list, but since I drafted our dual speed guy, but Scott Lilly also 83 overall or 83 speed dual threat. Really interesting player. Let's see if we can sign him long term. Other than that, we need a third running back. My preference would be Deuce Vaughn. 76 overall, agile and fast, not that strong. A former 6th round pick here in the game. Pretty accurate to where he went in the real draft. Did not play a single game yet, could be our third guy. Other than that, 2 undrafted free agent running backs. Still Andrew Voorhees, an option on guard. 82 overall, great in pass blocking and no sacks allowed. Jalen Hyatt, you already know him, still want to get him. Elijah Adams, another undrafted free agent. He was also someone I had on my list. 74, way better than I thought, especially with that speed. 85 speed. He's actually really good. The hands worry me though. But as a 5th option, get some snaps, maybe develop him. If he signs a 7-year deal worth that money, that would be perfect. Derek Stingley as well. I know we just drafted 2 cornerbacks, but he's 26 years old, might be a high upside pick for the upcoming years since our other corners do not get any younger. Derek Stingley would be a good option. We already know him from the Texan series. And kicker, Lee Lees. I noticed him because of his awesome name. 87 kick accuracy, 71 kick distance. So a little bit worse than our kicker. Has the clutch kicker trait. But yeah, our kicker is asking for a contract extension. We have Richard Holmes, 78 overall. Played fairly good. Also has been in 2 Pro Bowls. So I'm fine with offering him a new contract. But if we get Lee Lees for a little bit less, that would be great as well. So let's sim the day and check out who we sign. Good news, we did not lose out on anyone. Bad news, we did not sign anyone. So let's look at the free agent report. We are still in the lead for all players we want to get. So that's good news. Let's sim another week and hope that someone signs now. Week 7 does not look to be the case. Still no signings, but also still no one where we are in 2nd place. So let's change some offers. I really want to get a few players. Hyatt would be such a great fit, so let's offer him 1 million more and hope he stays. For the rest, I'm fine with that. We do not need any of those guys. Would be great, of course, to get 1 or 2 signings. So let's complete round 8. Scroll down and yes, we have our very first signing. Kamar Wheaton is our running back of the future. Undrafted free agent, will be here for 4 years. Great personality, good speed, good agility. I think decent enough to be our running back number 3. With that, we can cancel our other running back deals. Let's check if we are still in the lead. Yes, favorite offer for most of them, or actually for all of them. So there is still hope. It's free agency round 9. So let's cancel Deuce Vaughn as much as I would have loved to have him. And let's cancel Matthew Varney. And I also just increased Jalen Hyatt's offer another million. So we're at 7.8. Needed to make a cut here. The free agency screen takes hours to load. Also in between simulation of days, offering contracts and selecting players. I don't know why, if maybe that's because I'm recording or because of the expansion team file. Don't know. Let's hope that Jalen Hyatt signs. He would be such a great fit with his agility and speed and natural talent deep threat. He's just a younger, is he younger than Jalen Waddle? Yeah, he must be. But still, he's very similar to Jalen Waddle, and we saw how that worked. So let's complete the day. I'm still hoping to sign Jalen Wyatt, and does not seem to be the case. Also, we still did not lose out on anyone. We're still in the lead, but no one wants to sign. Fair enough, we're not giving out the highest contracts, so I will delete Derek Stingley. We don't really need him. Offer on Jalen Hyatt and also increase the offer on Lilies and Scott Lilly, and let's see what we can do from there. All right, fourth try, I deleted 2 offers, and those are the players I want to sign. Made higher offers for Hyatt, Lees, and Lilly. Final chance to make an impact, final chance to sign one of these players or more, and we get Lilies, at least someone. He will be our kicker. Maybe of the future. Let's try it out for this year. Signed, of course, a long-term deal, and quickly check who else we need. Would have been nice to get Scott Lilly, to be honest, but now we have 3 quarterbacks, so we don't really need anyone. But for wide receiver, I still want to have Jalen Hyatt. That's the only free agency I'm going to do. I know that there are a lot of good players still in here. I don't even want to go through the list. Well, so many good players. But yeah, I'm just going to sign Jalen Hyatt and see if we can give him a big role with this wide receiver core. I'm pretty happy. So let's look at potential trades and upcoming free agents. Restricted free agents, Derek Moore, linebacker, and Cole Bishop. I think both of them will get a tender and sign them just back for $2 million for next year to have a little bit of depth, especially for Cole Bishop. He might actually start, so for him to test him out on another 1-year deal for cheap is pretty cool. And then, yeah, we will sign back Bijan Robinson. Marcus May is going to go, but that's something I already said. Other than that, yeah, I'm really fine with what we have. Not making any trades, or maybe Cameron Wire and Daryl Peterson. Looking at the depth we have at tackle, no, I cannot trade Cameron Wire. But on guard, of course, I can get rid of Daryl Peterson. And let's look at position grades. We have 2 linebackers too much. Is there a trade we want to do here? I think one of the older ones with contracts running out. Cody Barton, I think he had great performances the last year. Yeah, 7 and 5 sacks. Bobby Okereke did not play too much last year. And so, yeah, I guess we can trade Bobby Okereke, not bringing him back. Cole Holcomb, 6 sacks last year. I think he might be a better option. So, okay, Bobby Okereke and the guard, let's find a new team for them. So this is the trade, Daryl Peterson, Bobby Okereke to the Browns for a second, 3rd, and 6th round pick. Honestly, it's so hard to trade for first rounders. It's actually not possible, even when they're projected to be in the 30s. you just cannot trade for a first round pick. That's something I don't like. Let's see how this is going to be in the 2024 Pro Football game. But here it feels like, an impossible task to do. Let's quickly check out if we have now all position grades filled. No, still a linebacker too much. So for roster management, we need to move 2 people. And I guess for linebacker, unfortunately, that's Willie Hansen. That's also something I said in the draft. He has great potential, but right now, player for the practice squad. And other than that, Blake Böhnisch is also someone we could trade now. A former second round pick. I mean, it's a pity, but we could trade Mazi Smith. That actually makes more sense. Former third round pick, 69 overall, already 25 years old. We have 1 defensive tackle, too much to play. We still need a roster spot, so let's also trade Mazi Smith. And the trade is done. Mazi Smith to the Cowboys. That's something that sounds familiar. 7th round pick. So unfortunately, we wasted a pick there. Former 3rd round pick. Did not play up to his potential. Now we had a high investment in defensive tackle and should be pretty good on that position. I just adjusted the training. So let's go through training camp and hope for some improvements. Wow. That's great, but first let's start off with the bad things. La'el Collins actually gets worth 89 overall. That's something we expected. Cole Holcomb also does not get any better last year of his contract. Bill Gillikin as well and Antoine Winfield Jr. also gets worse, but Cyrus Moss, 16 gain. He's at an 81 overall now. What a pickup in round 5. He had 6 sacks last season, and that's not good news for Alex Willard because Cyrus Moss is going to play a lot. Also, Drew Banks, I'm very happy that we did not sign Derek Stingley. Drew Banks is at a 75 overall with the shutdown corner trade. Well, he's going to start. Other than that, Sean Searcy, 1st round pick. Also, what a gain for him. 81 overall, and Christopher Anderson, another rookie, 73 overall, now also 5th round pick. That's unbelievably good. Guy Rigby, 68 overall, also some improvement. He was one of the worst picks, but also Frank Petty is getting better here. Charles Corona as well, and Willie Hansen on the practice squad. Also room for potential. That's really interesting. Randy Ashworth also with a little bit of improvement. Great training camp here. So I'm going to set up the depth chart and then it's time to go to preseason. So quick look at the depth chart. Not that many changes. New QB3 and running back 3. Jalen Hyatt will see some snaps as wide receiver 3 to evaluate him. But we're giving every wide receiver a chance here. Ekbuka and Roberts, with Frank Petty as a backup, and here Seth Jones and Jalen Hyatt. We have so many good wide receiver options. I won't offer Jalen Hyatt a new contract. We'll try it again next free agency, but I'm really convinced that he could be a perfect Jalen Waddle 2.0 here for our offense. In the O-line, Otis Green, our 2nd round pick, will start over Charles Leach, but also Charles Leach will see some snaps. Same for Elton Stack. We're going to evaluate him and give him some snaps here. Defensively, Sean Searcy will start Mason Smith, defensive tackle 2. He's injury prone, so good that we drafted Searcy. Böhnisch and Corona still here. Cyrus Moss, Will Anderson will start on edge, but again, Alex Willard will see some snaps together with Cyrus Moss. I'm pretty sure that he's our future edge rusher number 1. Not yet sure what to do with Will Anderson. Maybe we need to trade him. Also on linebacker, Guy Rigby will see starting snaps on outside linebacker. I'm convinced with his training camp progress that he can make an impact in year 1. But also here we will start Jason LaDuke, Richard Poole, both of them former high picks, totally forgot about them. LaDuke 2nd round pick. And in his first year he had 4 sacks, so he needs to play. And same for Richard Poole, 1 sack, former 3rd round pick. So there is still some depth on linebacker. And so not sure if we want to sign back Cody Barton or Cole Holcomb. Maybe only one of them. And if so, maybe Cody Barton, who will be a little bit cheaper. On cornerback, we will have Terrell, Hughes, and Anderson in package 2. And in package 1, Drew Banks is going to start. Safety, Cole Bishop will see starting snaps over Marcus May. So lots of changes, lots of young players, and hopefully this pays off this season. But first, preseason and the first chance for our rookies to show what they can do. Week 1 against the Cleveland Browns. We win in overtime. I mean, that's not that important. Nice to see that Ashworth had a touchdown, but not that great when you look at the completion percentage. Also for Casey Case, that's horrible. And yeah, Brock Bowers sees some snaps. Drew Banks with his first interception. LaDuke, May, and Moore with sacks. So hopefully no injuries. We'll check that in the end. Preseason week 2, we played against the Patriots. Big victory for us. Better completion percentage for Case and Ashworth. Well, only 2 passing attempts, but still Wheaton with a great rushing game. So our new running back 3 with a great performance, and offensively Hyatt with his first touchdown in preseason. On defense, Holcomb, great performance with sacks and interceptions, and LaDuke and Poole and Cage with sacks. So they really want to show that they're very valuable options for us. And in week 3, we played the Commanders. Let's quickly check that out. I mean, the completion percentage of Caleb Williams worries me, but that should hopefully be better in the season. Otherwise, we have a big problem. A ball with a sack. And preseason week 4. And another win, this time against the Minnesota Vikings. Case played a lot of snaps. Ashworth also with 2 passes, 1 touchdown. That's great. Bixby offensively, Hyatt again, and defensively, Banks with another interception. He could be such a big steal. And a lot of sacks. So that's nice. Preseason form looks good. But now it's time to shine in the regular season, maybe with another undefeated season. Let's see. Mason Smith, doubtful, I already said. He's injury prone, but other than that, it looks very good to do the first game of the year and start off the regular season with a pretty interesting team. But before we play against the Carolina Panthers, it's also time to quickly check in and take a look at college football, new recruits, and the stars to watch for the season. So let's start off the college football preview with the new recruits. Steven Yeager is the number 1 recruit of this class, running back committed to LSU, 95 overall, horrible personality. He's a power runner, so should be quite good in his role. Number 2 cornerback, that sounds familiar. We just drafted one in round 3. Let's see how Nathan Thornton will play for Mississippi State. 96 overall, looks pretty good. And Mississippi State also gets a top recruit on offense with Christopher Lowry, running back, 92 overall, workout fanatic, great personality. The best QB goes to LSU, Emmanuel Carver, so should be a quite interesting duo here with top running back and top quarterback. 94 overall, gunslinger trade. He looks really, really good. And other than that, notable players, free safety and cornerback, usual positions we see. Another 94 running back with Kim Knight, what a name. But yeah, looks interesting so far. And yeah, we just saw the first recruits commit to the draft and get drafted. So in a few years, I'm pretty sure that we will recognize at least some of these names. Let's go to the league office. Top 25, Oklahoma, Georgia, Oklahoma State, and Minnesota are ranked here in the top 4. Will be interesting to see how the teams shape up. But even more interesting are the players. There could be draftable next season. Right now, we do not have too many holes on the Munich Wolverine team. Of course, will be interesting to see how the season develops, what we're going to do on key positions and key contract extensions, of course. QB, hopefully not a position of need. Anthony Thibodeau, the highest ranked senior, 95 overall, plays for Memphis. Quite some up and down seasons, and Ian Bullard, a name we recognized, also a lot of interceptions, but great freshman year for him. He's also a 95 overall, so could be the best two QBs in the draft, followed by David Blackwell, gunslinger trade, also great freshman year for him, but also interesting to see how the players actually get translated into the pro football version. It's always hard to predict how good they are. Great freshman class here of running backs. The best ones are already the ones who got recruited this season. The best senior player or running back is Arthur Jackson. Not the best stats here, 95 overall, all-purpose running back, but hopefully not someone we need. We have, of course, the upcoming contract extensions with Bijan Robinson, but hopefully we can sign him back. Fullback, I don't want to highlight something here except from Frederick McGregor, 90 fullback, a great personality, but not talking too much about fullbacks now. A position group I want to highlight is O-line, and yes, we could use some help depending on how our guards and tackle situation is going to be within the next few years, but it's always nice to have good players here. On guard, Kevin Angulo, the highest ranked senior tenacious blocker, is really good, no sacks allowed. And there are some promising high 80, low 90 guys who could commit for the draft. Tackle, also really interesting situation here. Wayne Close will be in the draft. He's a senior, 92 overall, awesome personality, fairly well-rounded book and tackle trade, and allowed 3 sacks, so that's something to watch for this season. Vernon Frame, another really interesting guy, 5th-year senior from Air Force. Awesome personality, well-rounded, intelligent, really, really intelligent. Also book and tackle, did not allow a sack. And I could go through the whole list here, but as you can see, with 3 or 4 years of experience, there are a lot of tackles who might be interesting for the draft. Center, we have 2 young guys there. Hopefully they work out. If not, also the best centers in this class with Harold Putnam and Ernesto Böhm are really good. Low 90s, high 80s here for a lot of O-liners. So this is a position group to watch. Tight end, we don't need anyone, but also Jerome Island is the highest rated tight end who will declare for the draft. So it could be a really, really interesting draft class, especially here on offense so far. Also wide receiver Richard Calhoun, a former 5th-year recruit, well-rounded possession wide receiver, can play great for Oregon. Let's see how his season will evolve. And also Joey Caron for Cincinnati had some up and down years, possession wide receiver trade as well, and one of the best personality ratings you can get. So 2 interesting wide receivers. We of course have an outstanding wide receiver core, so not a position of need. Same for cornerback, also not really a position of need. Our team is so good. Interesting to take a look at William Hooks, 96 overall cornerback, 5-star recruit zone corner, but the production has not been there so far. Also same for Charles Wiley, his teammate at Oklahoma, so great cornerback duo. Jeremy Ford for Minnesota, also interesting, a lot of good players. And yeah, here 10 interceptions for Flight Douglas at Michigan State. Cornerback looks good. Linebacker, without going into detail into production here, also some players with really good overall. Franklin Warden, definitely a player to watch. As said, not the highest production, but former 4th ranked recruit, 95 overall, and has coverage, linebacker, and fierce competitor. The linebacker group will also be very interesting to watch. A lot of great players, no one who really stands out in terms of performance. Also for defensive tackle, there are some players. We thankfully do not need a defensive tackle after drafting one in the first round. Same for edge. I think we have a good group here, but Alden Abell, definitely someone to watch. Not the best personality, not the best skill ratings, except from strength. Of course, has the ball rusher trait, but he has 43 sacks, did not play in his freshman year. But other than that, always double-digit sack numbers, really impressive. Daniel Tillery also with a 20 sack season, and another one to highlight, Nicholas O'Malley, got better each year, will be very interesting to watch his senior season. And yeah, safety, I can only repeat myself, not the highest position of need, but which position actually is our highest need position. Derek Amaral, the best player, awesome personality, and 7 sacks, 6 interceptions is a great performance. But maybe the most interesting person here in the secondary is Joe Satterfield from Oklahoma, 96 overall, senior safety, former 4th overall recruit. Good personality, really agile and fast. Could play corner with these ratings, especially low tackling. Interesting to see he has center fielder and workout fanatic trait. 4 sacks, 2 interceptions. So he could be a breakout player in his senior year for Oklahoma, for a really interesting team to watch who have a lot of playmakers. Let's take a quick look at the Oklahoma roster overall and then go back to the Munich Wolverines. On quarterback, not the best players, also offensively, except from Charles Willett, the junior running back, and not that many guys who really stand out here. Tight end Jonathan Witt is a good player, but also on wide receiver, except from James Vega, not that many great players. But defensively, William Hooks, Dan Little, Charles Wiley, and Timothy Tucker now as a freshman. One of the best cornerbacks group I've ever seen, especially Hooks and Wiley are already highlighted, both eligible for the draft. Don't think that Wiley will declare with his junior tag, but nevertheless, interesting group. Linebacker, they have Charles Wheeler as a senior, and as said, they have Joe Satterfield as their star on defense. And I think if he can have a good season, Oklahoma should be the team to watch. Number 1 ranked currently, number 2 recruiting rank. They got some interesting players, but of course our focus lies on the draft. With that said, let's hope for a great season, that we don't have a high first round pick, and go back to the NFL. Week 1 of the regular season is here. Let's play against the Carolina Panthers, and we win our very first game. Caleb Williams, surprising 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. That's not good. Bijan with a great game, Waddle and Bijan also with a catch. Lee, great first performance as a kicker, will be our starting kicker for the season and for the future. Terrell with an interception and 6 pass deflections. Really great performance. Anderson with a sack and Abor with a sack. So maybe Anderson now with a smaller role has higher ambitions and maybe higher production. More importantly, we get the very first win against the Panthers, and Charles Leach signed our offer. I made him an offer for 2.9 million. I think that's fine, even if he would be a backup center. And yeah, Bijan does not want to sign for 16 million. He asks, honestly, for 17 million. Oh, Guy Rigby's out for 2 to 4 weeks. That is not good, but we have enough linebackers. But yeah, the thing I wanted to say, Bijan is asking for 17 million. That's the highest amount a running back can ask for. So, I mean, I do not need to sign him for 7 years. Maybe let's just do 4 and see what we're going to do after that. But I mean, he has to sign for that. Other than that, not really sure what I want to do because Holcomb and Barton are both very old. I really like our young players after taking a look at what Leduc, Poole, and Rigby did, or Rigby is hopefully going to do. So I'm not making them an offer here. Maybe signing them back in free agency. Same for Marcus May, same for Jalen Hyatt, and the rest as well. So I'm pretty sure that I'm not going to do any signings. Maybe next episode, but so far I'm happy with that. And we are only at 181 million for next year. So a lot of cap space. So we can sign them back in free agency. But yeah, I do not want to handcuff me right now. Maybe sign back one of those linebackers. But yeah, let's see. Against the Falcons, we are now 2-0, 21-17. Caleb Williams with another pick. That is not great. He's already at 3 picks for this year. But yeah, also in the last years had a lot of interceptions. He needs to get better in this regard. Otherwise, we have a big problem in the playoffs. We saw that that could cost us. And yeah, defensively, no sacks, no interceptions. So a little bit of a troubled start to the season. We're not yet that dominant as we should be with that team. Let's take a look if Bijan signed. What do you want to have? I cannot make it more or higher. 17 million is the absolute maximum. So this is going to get very, very annoying. He needs to stay with us. That's no question. So I'm just giving what he wants to have. Now 2 years, hopefully he signs with that. So week 3, we play against the Buffalo Bills, 1-1. Can we get another win? Yes, and this time it looks even better. That's the performance I want to see. Caleb Williams with 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Bijan great on the ground and as a pass catcher. He deserves every bit of this money as soon as he signs. Also interesting to see Seth Jones in here. Great performance for him. Jalen Waddle another touchdown. And defensively, Trevon Walker with an interception. And sacks for Mike Hughes, Cyrus Moss, AJ Terrell, and Mason Smith. So not yet for Alex Willard, who sees some snaps. That's something I want to emphasize. So he has the chance, but maybe needs some time to adjust from college football to the NFL. What do you want, Bijan? I mean, I cannot offer you more, and that's really annoying. Injury report, Guy Rigby still out. Last game before the first of 2 bye weeks. But Bijan could offer him more than 17 million, but I'm not sure if this is possible or not. Could also add a bonus, but I do not want to give him a higher salary. I mean, that's the maximum amount. So let's sim week 4 before ending the episode. Bijan is going to be a head scratcher for the next few weeks. Now game against the Houston Texans, another win. We are 4-0. Not the best performance offensively. Ekbuka with a touchdown, but defensively, Terrell interception, sack for Barton and Bishop. So many players with sacks or interceptions. Yeah, that's good to see that we're not dependent only on one player, but we're still missing the superstar performances on defense. Anderson doubtful, but yeah, injuries look good. Bijan, you are annoying me. But he needs to sign. Don't know what to do, but hopefully he will sign soon. Yeah, that's just really, really annoying. 17 million is the maximum amount for running backs. I'm pretty sure I can double check, but that should be 17 million. So that's the maximum contract. Why is he asking for more? That does not make any sense. We need to figure this out next episode. For now, we are 4-0 with the most points scored on offense. Great balance between passing and run game. Defensively, we can get better. Only one sack by multiple players. AJ Terrell plays great. I like where the team is going. But of course, we need to win way more games than that and especially perform in the playoffs. Can we do that? I hope so. Let's see where this team is going. Thank you everyone for watching and see you next time for another Expansion Team episode. Bye bye.